I'm disappointed. I feel sick to my stomach for our seniors. Obviously, their last opportunity didn't. None of us obviously had the intention of it ending like this one, and certainly, and not just the seniors. I feel for this whole team, and it was not the outcome we had. That we had looked for. The team needed to take care of the team. That's what worked for us a week ago, and we had some things that we didn't give ourselves the opportunity to be able to overcome tonight, and that's basically what it gets down to. And while there were some improvements in some areas, like we talked about last week, we talked about yards or whatever. You don't get yards, you don't get points for those things. We got to win on the scoreboard, the way the scoreboard reads at the end of the game. So there's a lot of disappointment, and we have 2 more opportunities, and we're gonna pick our boots up, and we're gonna have these guys rolling, and we're gonna go get after 2 new opponents.
Coach, it was definitely difficult at times for the special teams tonight. What do you think happened?
Well, we had obviously you don't have a desire to give up the. So we had 3 miscues that were flagrant. A guy jumped up and they had a tall guy jumped and he got a hand on the ball on the field goal prior to the end of the half, and then the opening kickoff of the second half was that one really irritated me because we they got blocked in the back, but we were offside, so they come back and we kick it again, and they brought the return out to the field. We practiced that all week. We knew what was happening with it, but we didn't. We had a guy that had the opportunity to be able to make a play there, and then we had a couple guys that if they filled the lane the proper way, if they reacted the proper way, we just closed it down. It wouldn't have been that big of a return. So that was disheartening there, and then. And then the block punt that, so there's 2 scores right there that were ugly, and that we take care of both of those. Just do what you're supposed to do. Just execute, I should say. That's all of us. Just execute. And I'll take all the heat and all the credit for that. Just execute those, and we get the punt off and everything's fine. Even with that one, we still have the ability to win the damn game. And we've got to be able to overcome those. And so that's the nature of where we found ourselves at that point in time. No different than any other game. You've got to deal with the situation, where you're at and where things lie, and roll forward from there. And we tried like hell to create some opportunities, but we weren't obviously able to close them out. So that was disappointing. But it's I probably should leave it at that. But you go back. So we call it a game for a reason. It's not a science. It's not anything else. Guys go to make plays. Both teams fight their tails off to make plays. So they made plays in those situations. We have a responsibility as a team, all 3 phases of the game, and all of us as coaches, and it starts from here, from all of us together, to respond to the situation. And we just need to respond and close it out. Was an opportunity we had, and I thought there was some fight to try to make some things happen, and but obviously it didn't close.
Finishing drives on offense. I mean, you start off early, and Hank and the gang, score that first one, and then in the second half. Lots of opportunities. Wells had like 9 catches in this game, some great moments, but no. Yeah,
Wells had a big game. He had 112 yards. Jabari threw for 286, and those were good improvements there. But then again, yards don't give you points. That's what I was kind of getting at. There were improvements there. Hank had a big game, 166 yards rushing, I think, something like that. That was good. The way we started the game was exactly what we wanted to. We took the ball for a reason, wanted to try to start fast, and we did start fast. And but the key to that, you want to start fast. You need to maintain throughout, and then you've got to finish strong. And we didn't maintain. We had a chance to finish. We didn't quite get it done. And that's why I feel awful for our guys, because they put it out there. It was very important for them. I told we talked about that at the beginning of the week, right? It was a big deal. Asked everybody to come out and see these seniors play their last game here, because it's a big deal. And I know it's a big deal to our fans too. They wanted to see those guys play well and win the damn game and those things like that. And there's not one player that ever goes out there and try to have something bad happen to them. That's never the case. And but we've just got to be able to overcome things. And so it's just like we talked about many times, us together in this room. I mean, it's what happens to you, and it doesn't matter what happens to you in life. What matters is how do you respond to what happens to you in life. That's a ball game, and that's life. Well, in the ball game, you need to respond to those situations so you give yourself the opportunity to win. Well, we didn't take care of it well enough to win the game, but we've got an opportunity to go play 2 more times. And we can take advantage of those opportunities and pick ourselves up and go make something happen. And that's what we will do. Thank you.
In the ground game, it seemed like there were moments when it was working, but when it was really crucial there in the second half, it wasn't. What did you see that was keeping the ground game from, being able to finish those drives in the second half?
Well, I think we had a lot of success running the ball for a while. It was a lot like what you said, and they committed a lot of bodies to try to make it not happen any longer. Obviously, they got more bodies in there that. Our guys did a pretty good job of moving a lot of it, but, when there were the extras in there, and I think that helped with the throw game a little bit also. We just need to capitalize a little bit better is what we need to do.
Coach, what would you say to fans who have lost faith in this football program with how the season has transpired and they feel like this is a new low point?
Well, I would tell them that it's still your university, it's your football team, it's your Beavers. We're all Beavers together, and faith is an important thing, so maintain faith. And when people need things the most is when things are at a bad point, when things are hard. That's when people need help. It's easy to jump on a bandwagon. It's easy to be there when things are going well. Life is easy when things are going well. People have things happen to them in life that causes a lot of negative things to take place, and it's easy. I think our world has the ability to jump on that a little bit. But I think you got to take care, if you look at it like you look at your family. There's things that happen within your family. If something bad happens in your family, you don't quit on your family, you don't give up on your family. That's when your family needs you the most. This is when we need Beaver Nation the most. Oregon State needs Beaver Nation the most. Beaver Nation needs us to step up and play better, and we're all about that. We've been busting our tails to do that. We've been busting our tails to do that the whole season, and these guys, that's why I feel awful for them, because they experienced success, the last few times out there, and it didn't happen that way today. But understand this, we all share the same feeling, believe it or not. But we won't lose faith. These players won't lose faith. They're the ones that are the most important, and that's what I hope everybody realizes. The kids are the ones that are important. That's what college sports are about, and college athletics is about. It's about taking care of the kids and doing that the best they can. And that's where us grown-ups are supposed to be able to help do that. And I would certainly hope. Do I expect Beaver Nation to be sad and excuse my mouth, but pissed? Yes. Because we are too. Understand that locker room wasn't feeling good right now. We talked about jubilation a week ago. You got the direct opposite tonight. And we feel it. The players feel it. We all feel it. Beaver Nation feels it. We all need to unite together to try to bounce this thing back up. And you get a new day every day. And we'll approach it day by day, just like we talked about before. And we'll have a team ready to roll, and we're going to play in Tulsa, Oklahoma next Saturday, and we're going to come out of there smiling again and build it back up. We can't change what has happened in what the whole total of what the past of the season looks like, the win-loss total, but we've got an opportunity to go win 2 more games, and one of them gives us, like we said, a championship. And that's something that we can smile about again, and there will be good things coming. Good things are going to happen here, and we all have to, the more we do it united, the better it's going to be. If things are like this, it makes it harder. So I would ask that they be in there, and don't worry about any of us, worry about the kids. Be in there for the players and our university, your university, and do it that way. And I think we can make some strong things happen, because that's what has to happen.
You talked a little bit about the emotions of last week, Rob, and I'm just like going into this game, human nature. Do you think there were some players on your team that looked at Sam Houston's record, maybe didn't have quite the same intensity this week?
I don't think so. And so why I say that? We approached it from the very beginning of the week that way. When we had to get things started all over again, there was the feeling, we had to overcome the fact that we hadn't won a game yet. Hadn't won any games, and everybody was telling you they couldn't win any games. But if we would unite together and we could do things together, we could play more better, and we were able to do that in that ball game. And people felt like, well, hey, that was good, and I think that made people smile again. And we made that game, it ended up the way that it was supposed to end up. But the first half of that, we had to shake off some demons. Okay. Well, we come into the next game, and we're playing at home against a conference opponent, the first conference game, and the outside world, the crowd noise, is saying, hey, well, y'all are playing at home and you're playing a conference opponent, but y'all ain't supposed to win that. Well, that's crowd noise. We have to ignore that. If we take it day by day, play by play, we give ourselves an opportunity. And fought their tails off, and the team took care of the team. Everybody united. We made that happen and won that game. Now you come into this ball game. Everybody's patting you on the back now, saying, hey, you guys are supposed to win by a couple scores. Whatever. You're favored to win. You're supposed to win. And those same people that said you weren't supposed to win. Those same people that said you couldn't even win a game. That's crowd noise. We had to respond to it that way. It was also very honest. If you looked at the tape, there were some things you looked at those guys and thought, hey, there were some things that didn't look real good in some of their games. That was how we talked about that point blank from the beginning, because you can't let that bite you. Okay, I think there was a guy named Saban referred to it as rat poison. I referred to it as crowd noise. I referred to it as be the best you that you can be each play that you can. And I think our guys, the way they worked throughout the course of the week, I didn't see that happen. The way guys fought their tails off tonight, I didn't see that happen. I saw we didn't execute some things. Maybe didn't finish some plays, and so some of those were the miscues that we talked about. We had some opportunities that could have been touchdowns in both sides of the field that didn't take place, but guys were fighting and playing. Nobody was trying not to do it. So I don't think that's what happened to us tonight. I don't know, maybe you got to ask our players, but we were very upfront about the whole thing, and so now we're going to have to go back to, hey, you got everybody telling you what you can't do. We just got to make sure that us together understand what we are able to do. We can make great things happen if we will do it united and do it one snap at a time. That's the approach that we're going to have. And I think, again, it's a life lesson. People tell you, hey, you can't get that job, or you shouldn't be doing that, or you can't get that gal to be your wife, whatever. You're going to listen to that? You're going to let people control you? I'm not. And if these guys learn nothing else, they'll learn that. You're going to make your own decisions, and if you work your tail off and if you do things well, you get the opportunity to make decisions in life. When you don't do things well and things happen to you, then that's when choices get made for you. And so that's why we're emphasizing taking care of yourself each day in your obviously your football life, but your school life and your personal life and things like that. So you've got the opportunity to accomplish the things that you want to in life, and the more you do it, the more it becomes a habit. And whether it's life or in football, if you can do it some of the time, you can do it all the time. Well, we need to get back to that track, and so those are some of the lessons that we're going to be working on. So to answer your question, no, I don't think that hurt us. I don't think that's what caused the game to happen this way tonight. That was a longer answer than you asked for. So.
All right, last question.
Was there any point in the game where you thought about making any quarterback changes? If so, just walk through the decision making.
No, we were committed to competing and trying to make things happen the way that we were, and we were having some more success doing some things that way. We got more yards throwing the ball, and it was our mindset was on with each position, just putting guys in there to make things happen. You roll a lot of guys at a lot of different positions. The quarterback position is not one that you do that quite often at, and we felt like we keep chopping wood. Chopping wood worked for us a week ago. Chopping wood will continue to work for you if you do things well. So, no, it wasn't something that was a big discussion, though.